on CNBC TV 18. Profit from it.
When architect Arun Nalapat came back from the US 10 years ago looking to start his own consultancy firm, he had to sit around for 6 months waiting for work. Well, things have changed now. No architect in Bangalore can sit idle, and Arun Nalapat particularly is a very busy man. Working out of the basement of his home, Arun Nalapat is quite happy. It's one of the reasons he returned from the US more than 10 years ago, to be his own boss. Today, Arun Nalapat Architects employs 17 people and handles 20 to 25 projects at a time worth 80 crore rupees. So when you came back, what did you do? I mean, you first started working with another company before you started out on your own.
Right.
You were sure that you wanted to be on your own, or it was that you weren't getting the freedom?
I knew I wanted to be on my own because it was very difficult to start something in the US anyway, because you know, you didn't go to the right school, so your skin is not the right color, you don't go to the right country clubs. Where are your clients, you know? So in India you have contacts, and you have people, your friends, family who will help you set up. So I came to Bangalore and I joined this company called W.S. Atkins, which is a British consultancy firm. But soon I realized that, about after 6 months, I realized that we were doing work primarily outside India. You know, we were doing projects and actually drafting work. Later I realized the company was set up as actually as a 100% EOU, so you couldn't even take up work here, which I was not aware when I joined them. Then I realized that there's no point doing that, you know. If you wanted to work for a white man, you could have stayed in the US. Why come back here and do the same?
And so then the Indians decided not to stay and check, and the natives broke free, is it?
Absolutely.
I mean, did you take some of your colleagues there with you, or what?
No, I just went on my own. I didn't have much work to warrant recruiting people at that time. Okay. I had one house project and I started work on that. And nothing to do, so sleep in the afternoons. Because that's all. Slowly things started happening, and one project led to another. And
so, when you decided to set up on your own, how did you meet your wife? Did you employ her, or what exactly happened?
Actually, what happened was both of us were looking for office space, and this real estate agent who I approached, and then she had also approached, was trying to. He didn't have a small space enough to fit my budget or her budget, but he had a larger space, so he tried to get us together and sell that space to us. So that's how we got into, we got to know each other. So we met and we decided to take up that office space, and
so a real estate broker played Cupid.
Absolutely. Very strange, but that's how it happened.
In Bangalore that's now bursting at its seams, Arun could have minted money, taking on many more projects. But he's stuck to work that's made him happy, like designing offices for Times of India and World Space, and even taking up a hospital project in Dubai. Arun believes that architects and builders will affect the face of the city for many years to come, and need to be very conscientious about infrastructure and safety issues. Now, obviously, there is a real estate boom. There's a infrastructure development boom. How well are you doing now in terms of in Bangalore? What's the bulk of your business?
I think we do a varied number of projects, and I don't think we have ever looked at our architectural practice as a volume-based one. Because each project is so unique. The same client with the same brief, same plot of land, same requirements. You go to two different architects, you get two different things. So the nature of the business I wouldn't even call it a business. The nature of an architectural practice would be that singularity. Like they say in physics, like your Big Bang is a singularity, it doesn't happen again. So each project happens only once. And if you approach it like that, it doesn't matter how many projects you do. It's each day what you do is unique. In fact, progress would be if you, I mean, what do you say? It'll be detrimental to do, 50, 60 projects. Then you're getting into more into the commercial part of it and not so much into the architecture part of it.
Do you think that it was the right time for you to come back from the States because it gave you enough time to establish your business, and now is when the real boom is happening in Bangalore?
I think so. See, when I came back, initially when I came back, nothing much was happening in Bangalore, but enough to keep one going. At the same time, I needed some time to, I spent 6 years in the US. So the guys who studied with me had already established their firms, and so I had to catching up to do, which I was able to do. And right now when I don't think any architect is sitting idle in Bangalore. Everyone must be busy.
Are there any, downsides to this development boom in Bangalore? For example, has the work become less about the quality? Has it become more about, just producing work?
I think so. The scale at which, the pace at which we are building, it ultimately becomes a very commercial thing. How much money can you realize out of so much square feet of land? And when an architect is hired, he's more often asked, how soon can you design the building? How soon can you give us the drawings? Architecture is about, if you're affecting the quality of your city, and you can't get away from it. It's not like a painting which you don't like it, you can put in the other room. This is going to change the face of the city for the next 40, 50 years. And the kind of development that should happen, I don't think is happening.
Okay. Is there one adequate emphasis to safety, and two, you mentioned it's going to change the face of the city. Given that Bangalore is having the kind of infrastructure problems that it is having, are they mandated by law, or do they on their own take certain efforts to make their buildings more environmentally friendly or usable?
I think from a safety point of view, there are things like the National Building Code which one follows, and there are also local regulations that one follows while designing the building. Now, architects in most parts of India, unlike in other cities, other countries, do not have that kind of control over their buildings. You make the drawings, you give it to the developer who's building these projects, and ultimately your role is to supply the design. The construction part, the quality of the construction, really architects are not that involved in it. In terms of environmentally being sensitive, or there are certain, again by regulations, there are certain things that you have to do. Very simple things like using hot water for solar panels for hot water, and rainwater harvesting. These are now mandatory.
And everyone's doing it?
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
Every room in Arun and Jyoti's house shows that it's been designed and built by an architect and structural designer duo. And this is their favorite haunt. The couple have a 6-year-old son, Surya, who was born with cerebral palsy. While they're still hoping for a cure, they say their perpetually happy son has had a major impact on their lives. How is it to work with your wife? Do you all have any creative differences?
Not really. I guess we started working together, and then we got married. So we had already resolved a lot of things before we decided to get married. Otherwise, we do have, she has her view on things and I have mine, and ultimately we come somewhere where we feel we can move ahead.
So how has having Surya changed your life?
I think one, having our office close by, that has become a necessary thing, so that we can spend more time with him. With traveling, commuting daily outside becomes a problem. Overall, I think it has given us some kind of a focus. We were sort of drifting, whether we wanted to be in Bangalore or to move out, or everything was open. After we had him, I think it has had a sort of a centering effect on us.
With Bangalore growing the way it is, Arun Nalapat is a much wanted man. Well, it's time for a short break, but when we come back, we'll find out more about our young Turks. Welcome back to Young Turks. It's now that time on the show when we put the same set of questions to both our guests and see how similar or different they are. Take a look.
Focus.
I think every day you should be happy. At the end of each day you should have felt that you did whatever best possible at that day.
Buys me choices.
Not very.
Nothing focused.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
That's a wrap on this edition of Young Turks. Write to us, youngturks@tv18online.com. That's our email address. Send us your feedback. Tell us what you thought of our show. Also, if you've got any other interesting personalities in mind, and if they're under the age of 35, then send us their profiles and we'll see what we can do about them. Catch us again, same time, same place next week till we get you 2 more success stories. From all of us here, goodbye. Thanks for watching.